Welcome, everybody. I'm Kate Houston, and today we have the amazing Amanda Rose here to share her expertise and wisdom. She's the founder and CEO of Prestige Connections, Dating Boutique, and Swoon Me Events, and the dating stylist. She is a celebrity matchmaker and named one of the world's top dating coaches for 2021 and 2022. She's been in the dating industry for over a decade and has made it her mission to help singles date successfully, heal from past heartbreaks, and find love, the love they truly desire. Amanda, welcome so much. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you so much for the great introduction and having me here today. I'm super excited to dig in to what we have to say.
Oh, so good. Well, this is the thing. They're thinking, okay, a matchmaker. Oh, I got your ear. I got your wisdom. So I know so many amazing, successful powerhouse women. Go get them. They say I'm intimidating. They don't draw the right kind of guy. They draw men that maybe aren't up to their equal level. So how do they find a man equality when they've been not drawing that to themselves? And is there something they can specifically look at, or maybe an action or decisions they've somehow been making along the way that they're not aware of that can help them course correct?
That's such a good question. I actually just did a masterclass on this topic because I see it so often, like ambitious, successful, smart women, and they're not attracting these high quality men. And it's like, what's going on? Why? Because these women deserve such amazing relationships and they have everything going for them. And it's like they attract these men that are not to the caliber that they should have, maybe emotionally unavailable or a narcissist. I mean, there's just all those things that you don't want to attract. So I see this with these very amazing women, very successful women. And a few things, when I tell them, and I might go on a tangent here because this is a topic.
Go for it. We want all the juicy.
Okay. This is great. So when I see these women, one thing I want to ask is, what are your dating patterns? Are you dating the same type of men over and over? And what do you see there? Because that can be a huge indicator of what you're attracting. So if we need to change that of what you're attracting, how do we do that? Where do we find these men? And how do we keep them? That's another thing. How do we keep them? So the first thing is, where do we find them? I always tell my clients to step into the shoes of where your high quality match would be. So where would he maybe go have lunch during his lunch break? Or where would he be at a charity event or a fundraiser? He's not going to be at the bar, getting drunk with his friends. It's probably not your high quality match, right? We've all met those guys when we're out and about and they're obnoxious and just not the kind that we want to exchange numbers with at all. So step into that high quality match's shoes and see, where would he be? And there's, he might be at a certain restaurant or a certain function, event, coffee house. There's so many different places these high quality men hang out, and networking events are great. And then go there. And I was just telling a friend who's single and amazing woman, same successful, ambitious, amazing. And she was like, I can't find these high quality dates. And I asked her, I'm like, well, what are you doing? Where are you going to look for this guy? And she said, well, actually, I'm not going out. And I'm like, you have to get out. Yes, you have to. And I challenged her to just go out somewhere new once a week. I encouraged her to go to a networking event that was going on, and different things that she could do within our city. She could go and find this high quality man. But so that's the first step.
So I have a question about that too, because you, of course, I think that you're implying this, but let's make sure we say this. Like, go to the events you also like, right? Like, it's like the thing that's a compliment to what you like. That's a similar thing. Maybe you like the small piano jazz bar that's an elevated jazz bar because you like going into live music. But if you don't like live music, maybe that's not your place to go. I mean, so keeping that in mind, you're walking a parallel path. You're just being more intentional with the places you think they might be, so that you're actually, like you said, meeting them in the places that are of your values, rather than just for just only like fun. I mean, they can meet people dancing or maybe going for a drink somewhere, but like you were saying, you want to be more intentional with that, I think. So I love that you're suggesting that we go out in person, because I think right now everybody's gotten really used to the comfort of being at home. I mean, for so long we were not. And so it's like, oh, I don't want to get out of my comfortable stretchy pants. Right. Tell you that's true. And get out there. But what I'm hearing you say is that one of the ways it's an energetic thing too. It's not just the going there, it's the how you're being and what you bring to that. And I, like being back around people and community enlivens us again.
Absolutely. That is such a good point. Yes, attend events that you find interest in. Don't go to something you're just absolutely bored to death and you find no interest, because you get a glimpse into your future too. Like if my future, soulmate likes jazz and I hate jazz, which I don't know who hates jazz, but
and it's okay if you don't. It's fine.
Right, exactly. But yes, definitely that might be his thing. He might go weekly. So make sure you do attend events or functions that you can either you want to learn about or that you have interest in, not something that actually absolutely bores you. That is such a good point to bring up. Make sure you are intentional about it, because you want to find, and it could be something, maybe you're not into hiking, but you want to hike more. So that's definitely something you can attend, because there's definitely a lot of men that enjoy that. And then the second thing that you said is the energetic part of it too. Your mindset going into it is so big. I always tell my clients to go into a date or an event or whatever it is, even work for the day or a new restaurant. If you're going to meet new people or meet a new potential match, think, what can I find out that's great about this person? Because that shifts your energy automatically. You're not going in thinking, okay, what can I find out that's wrong about this person? Why are they still single? Well, there's so many singles that are great singles that are still single. It's just a matter of putting those people together. So that could be the reason. He just hasn't found the one, which could be you. So make sure you go in, making sure your mindset is in that good energetic place, so that because that's attractive. When we go in and we have this negative energy about us, it pushes people away and we don't even realize it. But I'm sure if you've walked into a room before, like you can feel the energy sometimes. Like maybe if somebody just had an argument, or it's just somebody that's negative, or even an event that's just bleh, you can kind of feel the energy within that room and that space. The same goes for when you meet new people. You want to make sure your mindset is in the right place. And a few things to do that to kind of up level your mindset when you go to meet someone new. And I think people should do this every day, because you never know where that person's going to be. I had somebody meet their husband at a gas station while she was pumping gas.
Never know.
Yeah, you never know. So always just being try to get in a good mindset. Of course, we're human. That's not always going to happen. But if you're going to meet people, try to adjust your mindset before you go. And you can do that just like turn on some good music, or, just do yoga, dance around your kitchen. There's so many ways to like up level our vibe. And when we do that, the people in front of us can definitely feel that energy, and it makes your attraction level go up. So
I love that. So good. So I have a question here. I know you're going to cover this because you just mentioned it for a second. I had to ask questions before we leapt to the next part about keeping your high quality man, because I know there's the one issue that a lot of powerhouse amazing women have, which is not even meeting any. But then there's other ladies that meet some great guys. They have an amazing 4 to 6 dates. They think everything's going great, and then poof, they're gone, and they're like, what happened?
Yes.
And they have that as a pattern. What do you suggest? What do you see or ask those ladies to help them learn something about what might be going on there, to give them some clues, and how to support them in keeping that connection, keeping the momentum of what the relationship might possibly be, or turning into a relationship? Obviously you're just dating, but what's the thing you've seen come up for women that they might not be aware of?
Right. That's another really good one that I think, especially the women that I work with, are very successful, like I said, very ambitious, and have like businesses that they have created. They have these great careers, and it's something as a woman in that position, oftentimes we go into our masculine energy when we're in the relationship, and we don't tune into our feminine energy, and that can push away that masculine man if that's who you're attracted to. So it's hard to adjust that. I had the same issue. I'm married now, but Like I'm business minded. I'm ready. I want to get things done. It's hard for me. I like to take charge and get things completed. But when I got in a relationship and I started to learn these things, I learned that I needed to like just lean back and let him pursue me. Just tune into my feminine energy and let him pursue, let him, do things for me. And it was really hard for me not to want to like know what's going on, not to control. So, and I still work on that every day. I just lean back, let my husband be, the leader of the house. I still have a voice. I'm not saying don't take your voice away. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be a lady, be a woman. Let him, open the door for you, buy you dinner. Just lean back and let him pursue you. Don't pursue him and text and call and kind of have that needy, suffocating energy. Just lean back and let him do that work. And that's hard because I was the same way. I'm like, I want to know what's going on. I don't want to waste time. But when we lean back, it starts to flow easier. And the thing is, if a man ghosts you or he does not communicate well, let him go, because you're getting a glimpse into what your future is going to be with that man. So if he cannot communicate well, if he is ghosting you, do not waste your energy on him. But if you're putting all your energy onto one man and he's doing these things, you're missing out on a whole other, sea of men. So and I know that's hard, especially when you're really into someone and you're like, when is he going to call me? When is he going to text me? And he's not. It's actually when we are focusing that energy on him, it's pushing him away energetically. We don't even realize it. And something else I like to suggest too, it's kind of going on a tangent here, but I like to suggest that you date multiple people at once, because that way you're not focusing all your energy on this one person. And if he does ghost you or he doesn't respond or he's a bad communicator, even though he's like super attractive and fun, we don't want to waste our energy on someone that's not investing into us. We want to invest in someone that's also investing in us. So you'll still have this other pool of men that you might find your one in there that is a great communicator. He's attractive. He might not be as fun and passionate, and the chemistry might not be like fireworks, but he would be a good long-term partner. So make sure you're keeping your options open.
So how do you help the woman that says that I can't do that? I literally can't split my energy. It's too overwhelming. I'm at too much effort. I have too many emotional feelings. I can't shut them off all of a sudden to go on a date and then another date. It's too hard. What is a tip or tool to help them understand or shift out of that? Because there is some benefit. It's not to mean you have to date 8 people at once. There's a smaller number, but even that, sometimes there's a concern that I can't do that. How do you help women get past that and see that there's a real value in the long run for the less effort and more efficiency in getting to their goals?
Right. I love that, because I was in the same boat years ago when I was in the dating world. Because women are emotional creatures. We care about people. We're givers, so it is hard for us sometimes to switch that off and date multiple people. But the thing is, you have to get into the mindset of setting high standards and setting boundaries and sticking to them. Because if what you're doing isn't working and you're still dating the same type of men, getting hurt, you're running into these people that ghost you, they're not investing in you, they're not emotionally available, they're maybe players. If you're still finding those men, then you have to shift something, because if you don't change something, you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over. So it's important to get in the mindset. And I know it's hard sometimes and it takes work for sure. But you have to get in the mindset of creating strong standards. I suggest that you make a list. What are your standards? What does that future partner look like? Not physically, but like, what are his characteristics? What are your non-negotiables? And write that out, pull out the list every time you start dating. If he doesn't meet those, let him go. Even if he's like amazing, their chemistry is great. If he is missing those key long-term qualities, then you need to let him go, because you're going to waste your time. And when you waste your time, you end up in heartbreak and you start the pattern over. So what is your goal? Do you want to meet him sooner than later? I'm sure you do. So just think about that in your head. Make sure you're investing in someone who invests in you.
So I love also too earlier when you said part of this is about leaning back
Mhm.
and allowing him to pursue. Now, I think women will say, I've heard a lot of people say what leaning back is. And I don't know, is this the same that, I mean, what's your recommendation of what that means? And then what's the difference between allowing a man to pursue you versus trying to get him to chase you?
Mm. That's a good one. I think the leaning back is definitely, it's probably what a lot of people teach because you hear it a lot, I think, in with dating coaches, to lean back and let him pursue you. That means for me, that means not being needy, texting him constantly, calling him, wondering when he's going to call, and doing the pursuing, asking him out on dates, doing that sort of thing. It's leaning back, letting him ask you out, let him plan the dates, let him take charge, of the dates, and see if he communicates well. I think it's a good communication is such a strong factor too in a good healthy relationship. It shows you if this man is going to be a great communicator and throughout the relationship. So something, just an example is, I always bring my husband in as examples because he changed my dating game. But when we first started dating, I think it was like after the third date, he would call me every single day. And I never had a guy call me every single day, maybe once a week, but nothing like this. But he made the effort. I didn't pick up the phone and call him. He would call me every day after work. So I knew he was pursuing me. I knew he was invested in me. So that's just like a small example. Does he take the time to invest in you? That's kind of like leaning back, letting him pursue. And then also, and what was your second part?
That was when you said allowing him to pursue you versus getting him to chase you. Because I hear that there's that difference. Some people might think it's the same, but I am pretty sure you probably mean it not the same, but I want to make sure the ladies don't interpret the same and they understand the difference.
Yes. In my opinion, I think pursue and chase is different because chasing is kind of like a game playing mindset to me. And I don't believe in playing games when it comes to dating and love, because what you do is what you'll attract. So let's say there's some books out there about playing games in the dating world, and I completely disagree with them. It's like one of my matchmaker pet peeves, because what you like attracts like. So if you play games and you're having this man chase you, then I believe he probably has that same type of mindset. Like he's okay with the chase. He's playing games too. He's okay with the game playing. So again, you're going to look into get a glimpse into your future. Do you want a long-term partner that's okay with playing games? I'm sure you don't. Like we're all done with that. Yeah. All these smart, successful women, we're done with the game playing. So if you have a man chasing you, he's probably playing the games. Or he's like love bombing you, which is a huge thing. Love bombing is it's kind of a hot topic in the dating world. And I encourage you to Google it, because these men will like shower you with gifts. And, it's like suffocating type of love.
And I think the idea that really, to summarize that, is that if the level of intimacy they're giving you is not matching the amount of time you've spent together, where they don't have a boundary around that, they're looking for you not to have a boundary around that and to accept something before. I mean, if a woman's like really high quality, say, this doesn't make me feel comfortable yet. While I'm excited by this, I'm not ready for that. And a man who's love bombing as a game will see you as difficult to, I guess, to conquer in that game. And they're looking for easy targets. So they're going to go away, and you want that. I think it's really key to give them that little tidbit, because they wonder why that happens. Is if we put down and just allow ourselves to receive without questioning, when it's a little soon for them to be jumping to these things.
Yeah, it's overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, I know. And there's a part of us, all of us, that want that, but it's like there's a proper unfolding that happens. And there are people that fall in love quickly and have more intimate conversations, but usually it's the intimacy of sharing what you want, you desire, your life stories, and then having, sprinkled in, nibbles of love, like, is a good way to think of it, that they're not just getting you over and over and over. Like the bombing is overwhelming you with this attention. Whereas one or two sweet notes, we go, oh, Oh, that felt good. It's different than, oh, you're being showered with it.
Yes, it's like suffocating. You
Yeah.
feel suffocated with it. Yes, absolutely. I think that's a huge one too, between the chase, someone's chasing you, it's overwhelming. It's a game playing again, but the pursuit is someone who will take the time to get to know you, really like those hardcore qualities. And he's respectful, and he's a great communicator, and he reaches out, he invests in you, he takes the lead and making this relationship move forward.
Yes, I love that. And when a high quality man is really like wanting to, when you're wanting to keep them and when they're in pursuing you still, I should say, they're consistent, they're checking in, and the pursuing is also caring about what you want and don't want, and what pace you want to go in. There's a constant checking in, making sure you're comfortable, safe, grounded. They want you to feel excited, to see them not fearful for because you don't know something. They give you clarity when you're having, I mean, all that is part of healthy, kind, caring, putting you first and your needs and desires so that you are feeling comfortable. I think there's that difference. Where chasing is just, overwhelming your system so that you're just feeling, yeah, not sure about what's going on, right? I love that. That's so, okay. So we have the find, attract, and keep that quality man. Now, I know you were suggesting at the beginning to get out there, and I want everybody to get out there, but we know we go on dating apps. We know it. And a lot of people, including me, found their partners on dating apps. So what kind of energy what's the energy we can bring there? Because that's kind of a harder place to bring that energy. When you're in a room, you can do that. But what is your recommendation for how women can approach it, especially if they say, oh, I've had the worst experience, I'm just giving up? Should they give up on the online?
No, absolutely not. So I actually met my husband online too. So I met him on Bumble. I know I'm a matchmaker, but it works. It can definitely work. I know there's a lot of weeding out to get to good ones, but there's key things that you can look for, and you are putting energy out. Whatever you do, whatever your intention is, people see that, they feel it. I never got I was online dating very shortly, but I never got the like crazy pictures and stuff that people say they get, like the crazies. But I was very intentional with my online dating, and I didn't accept just whoever. I looked at their profiles. I could, pick things out to make sure they were intentional too. So again, it goes back to mindset. Like, what is your intention behind being on the dating app? Is it to find a soulmate? Is it to date casually? What is it? And remember, like, what you put out there is what you're attracting. So make sure your pictures or your photos, your bio, everything that you put on that dating app is what you want to attract back. So classy, a good bio. You're not playing games. You look like the woman. How can I word this? Like, you want to attract the man that fits the woman that you are, right? The high quality. So make sure you're putting out exactly what you want to attract.
I so love that. And I think too with that be in integrity with what you actually want within yourself first, and then really put that out there. Because sometimes you might go, well, I want a partner, but I'll settle for maybe just a situationship, or because we don't want to be hurt again. But that kind of lack of being in integrity where your words and actions match means you'll draw somebody who's in that lack of integrity, and then you'll wonder why. But this is where you get to be vulnerable with yourself, connect with yourself, and be honest about what you desire. Now, that doesn't mean you should overshare right away.
Right.
But if you really want, I'm really looking to find a man that I can date and fall in love with, to spend the rest of my life with. Eventually, allows them to know that, like, you're looking for a long-term thing, and that's okay to put it on there. And if a guy matches with you that actually just wants a fling, but he's really honest about it, I would recognize that as I'm meeting other people in integrity, we just don't want the same thing. And
right.
They just swiped and didn't think about it, or didn't. And yeah, we don't always read all the profiles or do it deeply. Don't blame people. This is how that works. But if you match with somebody and you realize later on their profile, you're like, oh, they thought I was cute and they are being honest about what they want. It's just not what I want. There's a different, that's what you mean by mindset, I think, is that you could have freaked out about that, been pissed off, say they didn't read my profile,
Right.
or go, wow, he's an integrity, but he wants something different. Right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I think going into the online dating scene with the same mindset as if you're out in person. Like, I'm here to find out what's great about this person. And you can pick out, we all know the online dating stories, like he's in the photo with his muscles showing and showing off and stuff like that. Like, skip him. Even though he's like super attractive, just keep going. Because look for the men that have the high qualities, and you can tell in photos. Like,
yeah, and also question your judgments.
Yeah.
My guy didn't have a deeply long written profile. He had a variety of pictures of different ages because he just doesn't do pictures of himself. And if I said, well, look, some are 10 years old, so you could tell that they were not the same. But I liked what he wrote. And I liked that he had a picture that was really intriguing to me, that I just was like, I want to know more about that one thing. And had I used any of these rules that we put on it, I would have swiped no.
Right. Yeah.
That's a reminder to like feel into it and go, there's a reason just to ask about this thing. I just want to be curious about people. And I love that. So you don't miss somebody amazing. And I mean, you said you were on for a short time. So to remind women, it's a variety of things. I was on and off dating for 5 years, a lot of online dating, a lot of very cold, wrapped up in blankets during COVID, outside dating. But here's what I wanted you to know. I was an unwavering commitment to my desire to find my person. Mm. And he had to go through his things before we met. I mean, I'm so grateful that we are met now, because it maybe wouldn't have worked had we met 4 or 3 years ago. I don't know. I mean, he had other things going on in his world. So remember, your person's on their journey too. Yeah, don't beat yourself up, and like just being commitment to your dream and your vision, no matter what. And you could make up stories, right? I'm sure you've had clients. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm just giving up. Yeah. Well, maybe you're not. I mean, are you really committed to your dream then?
Exactly. That's so true, because my husband had just moved to the state that I lived in at the time from Michigan. So he was a newbie in the city. And if I hadn't been on at that time, or, there's so many factors that came into play. But now, now we're married and have a baby, and like all these things. I'm like, I would have never thought that years ago that would have happened. But don't give up on online dating. Definitely just stay on it. I know it can be frustrating, but stay on it, because you never know who you're going to meet. And one thing I want to bring up too is you can tell people's energy online. I like to look at eyes. I think you can see so much from someone's eyes, if they're kind, or if they're, loving, or just not a good person. Energy just comes out of people's eyes, I think. And that's something I noticed about my husband, was his eyes were just like this guy has a good heart. Like, I got to swipe on him.
And you trusted yourself. You went with some intuition too. Yeah. And then you get to sort and organize and figure out and talk and learn and decide and choose following that. Doesn't have to be the be all end all. Just remember, you're just getting to know them. Take the pressure off yourself to find the one, and just find somebody to talk to, and then they'll slowly become that if they're the right person at the right time.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I know you have a great gift for everybody that we're going to have the link right below the video. Would you like to share with everybody what that is?
Yes, so I am giving away, it's a free video series. It's called Manifest More Love. So it's just more about bringing more love into your life, and it can be your soulmate. It can just be enjoying life and bringing that happiness that you deserve. And so there's 3 videos on how to do that. It's free, and feel free to ask me any questions you have after you watch it, because I'd love to help you guys in any way I can.
I love it. Right here's the link. Go grab it from Amanda and enjoy the learning. I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom, your tips, and giving everybody a little hint into the mindset, especially right now as we're getting out more in the world. And just be committed to your dream. Don't give up on it. It's out there. You can have it. It's there for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.